Okay, so good morning. So discuss lang natin yung supposed to be discussion natin no Thursday. So nagkaroon na ako ng emergency meeting. But anyway, kailangan ko kasi siya ma-discuss kasi next week will be our break. So we'll resume our discussion the following week. Okay, so we'll start with the customer service management. Last time we discussed yung sa customer topic yun. Customer relationship. So this time we'll deal with how we answer or response to the needs of our customers. So we have a customer service management. So for us to be considered as service winners, we must have a positive attitude and a cheerful outlook. So those who genuinely enjoy working with and for other people, and those with the ability to put the customer on the center stage. Those who view their job primarily as a human relations professions. So the definition of service is that a customer in a restaurant want more than a meal. So hindi lang tayo basta, for example, kung tayo ay nasa isang food industry, hindi lang yung more than just a service ang kailangan nila. They want yung environment, the relationship with the customers, what really matters dun sa ating sineservice. So guest in a hotel wants more than a room, and client in a transaction want more than a settlement. So customer want more than just the product or service that is offered, they also want to be treated as well. So yun yung ating parang i-consider when yung pag tayo nag-handle ng isang service. So sabi niya dito, service is intangible. So ibig sabihin wala tayong physically a product for it. So it's more of yung giving or how we treat our customer. So it is intangible, deal with the human side of an organization. They include the human emotions, behaviors, understanding, feelings, and perception. So ang example nga nito ng mga service intangible is satisfaction, attentiveness, the flow, how the service goes, helpfulness, sensitivity, tone, attitude, knowledge, understanding, tact, how composure you are, and then the guidance. So we have two dimensions of service. The first one is the procedural dimension. Consists of established system and procedure to deliver product and or service. So ito yung parang SOP natin kung paano ba yung flow ng ating service. And the personal dimension naman, how service provider using their attitude, behavior, and verbal skill interact with customers. So we want to be to consider yung two dimension of service. Yung kung paano yung ating procedure and then paano natin i-treat yung ating customer. So we have different kinds of yung working attitude natin towards a customer. So meron tayong tinatawag na the freezer, law in both personal and procedural service. So yung as long as ma-deliver nila yung service, wala silang pakialam. So ang motto nila is we don't care. For the factory, good in procedural service, bad in personal service. So the motto nila dito, you are number, we are here to process you. So parang same with freezer, walang ang kaibahan lang is maganda ang kanilang procedural service pero in terms of interpersonal skills, wala sila nun. We have naman yung the friendly Sue, but in procedural service, as in bad ang kanilang service, pero maganda naman ang pakikitungo nila sa customers. So ang motto is we are trying hard, but we don't really know what we are doing. And lastly, yung pag meron ka ng dalawang yon, yung we call it the quality customer service. Excellent in both personal and procedural dimension. So our motto is we care and we deliver. So we have the 5 element of quality service. The first one is yung reliability, the ability to provide what was promised dependably and accurately. So ang action strategy, make sure that you correctly identify customer needs, promise only what you can deliver, and follow through to ensure that product or services was received and as promised. So yung what is what you get, kung ano yung kanilang service indicated in their yung sa kanilang let's say sa site, yun yung kanilang dinideliver. So reliability, hindi sila nagpa-promise ng or hindi sila nag-i-state ng isang service that they cannot provide. So very straightforward. Then we have the assurance, the knowledge and courtesy of employees and their ability to convey trust and confidence. So yung action strategy natin, take time to serve customers one at a time, provide service assertively by using positive communication techniques and describing products and service accurately. Then we have the tangible. So sabi nga, yung wag kayong malito yung kanina, yung dinefine niya as service as intangible. Dito naman, sa 5 elements of quality service, yung tangible na sinasabi dito is the physical facilities and equipment and the appearance of the personnel. So ano yung environment? Ito yung tinutukoy dito is the environment. Maintain workplace in a neat, orderly manner, dress professionally, and maintain excellent grooming and hygiene standards. And then the empathy, the degree of caring and individual attention provided to customers. So ang action service natin dito, listen for emotions in your customers' messages, put yourself in their place, and respond compassionately by offering service to address their needs and concerns. Sa ngayon, parang naging issue to ngayon, especially sa mga social media sites, kung if you're very familiar with yung sa Karen attitude. So how are we going to deal with this kung we try to give empathy to our customer, however, pero parang sasagarin ka talaga nila. So how are you going to deal it? So as much as possible, kailangan straightforward ka din kung ano lang yung offer mo. But at the same time, you want to be in their shoes. Not to the extent na talagang sobrang demanding, but ibigay mo lang yung nararapat. Then the responsiveness, the willingness to help customers and provide prompt services. So action strategy, project a positive can-do attitude, take immediate steps to help customers and satisfy needs. And we have the service culture component, the service mission, the direct or the vision of an organization to support day-to-day interaction with their customers. So yung ating, di ba, sa isang company meron tayong mission vision. You want to be on that mandate only. So kaya kailangan susundin natin kung ano ba yung mission, yung vision ng isang company. And the products and services, the material products and services that are state-of-the-art, competitively priced, and meet the needs of the customers. We have the delivery system, the way organization deliver its product and service. How do we deliver our services and products? Training motivators, instruction or information provided through a variety of techniques that teach knowledge or skills or attempt to influence employee attitude toward excellent service delivery. And last, and reward. So yung monetary rewards, material items, or feedback that prompt employees to continue to deliver service and perform at a high level of effectiveness and efficiency. That is what yung kailangan natin ng customer service management, because we want to motivate our employees, we want to motivate ourselves through this reward. So nagkakaroon tayo ng yung customer feedback. We want to know how the customer sees us in terms of delivering our service. Employee roles and expectation, the specific measures that indicate what is expected of employees in customer interaction and that define how employee service performed will be evaluated. Usually sa mga service-oriented na company, minsan nagkakaroon pa ng training on how to deal with customers. So yun yung pinakamahalaga pa rin. We want to be as friendly as we are, and at the same time, we want to show our customers that yung dinideliver nating service is what they are expecting, or pwede pa nga mas mataas pa doon. Policies and procedures, the guidelines that establish how various situations of transaction will be handled, and the management support. The most important, the availability of management to answer questions and assist frontline employees in customer interaction when necessary. So yung customer service person daw must know your organization. Dapat alam niya yung organization mo, yung company, know your products and service, pangalawa, and then at the same time, know your customer. So pag sinabi nating know your customer, hindi lang ito yung parang yung pumapasok sa atin. Ang kailangan natin malaman, sino ba yung tina-target natin for our customer or for our products or service. So for know your organization, mission and vision, dapat alam niya yon. Organizational culture, customer interaction policy and procedures, and company support for products and service. For know your product service development and quality improvement process, product service configuration, performance data and specification, maintenance and care, and price delivery. Dapat alam niya to kapag para malaman mo yung products and service. And last, okay, so developing excellent communication with customer, you must have excellent verbal communication skill. You must be clear, concise, correct, complete, courteous, and concrete. Then excellent ka din sa mga non-verbal communication skills, yung mga hand gesture, yung facial expression, and then yung kung paano yung flow mo. And then, yung excellent listening skills, ito importante din kasi we want to, as much as possible, we want to hear what our customers would say. So, kailangan meron tayong excellent listening skills. So, if you have these three, then you will have a productive relationship with your customers. So, for the positive and negative communication behavior, for positive, maintain a brief eye contact, eyes wide open, smiling, nodding affirmatively, expresses body gestures, open body stance, listening actively, remaining silent as customer speaks, gesturing with open hand, and clean, organized work area. For the negative communication behavior, you have your yawning, humihikab, frowning or sneering, attending to matters other than the customer. So, hindi ka masyado nakafocus sa ating customers. And then, leaning away from customer as he or she speaks. And subdued or minimal hand gestures, staring blankly or coolly at customer, parang lutang ka. Pointing fingers or object at customers, disorganized, cluttered workplace. For a characteristic of a good listener, you must have yung 5 traits natin. You must have empathy, understanding, patient, attentiveness, and objectivity. Strategies for improved listening: stop talking, yung una. Prepare yourself, listen actively, show willingness to listen, show empathy, send positive nonverbal cues, don't argue and ask questions. So yung ask question is also necessary. Ibig sabihin, you are truly listening to the person who's talking. Addressing customer needs to feel welcome, use an enthusiastic greeting, smile, use the customer's name, thank the customer, and be positive. To be understood, listen actively, paraphrase, ask key question, give positive feedback, and empathize. To feel comfortable, use enthusiastic welcome, relieve anxiety through friendly communication, explain your action calmly, ensure physical comfort. Now we have the fourth style of behavior dominance. For dominance, appearance to be quite busy, may give the impression of not listening, display a serious attitude, and voices strong opinion. So ito is mga bad traits. Yung parang ikaw yung mas parang dominant sa customer mo. Influencing, appears quite active, takes social initiative in most cases, like to encourage informality, and expresses emotional opinions. Steadiness, give the appearance of being quiet and reserved, listed attentively to other people, tend to avoid the use of power, and make decisions in a thoughtful and deliberate manner. So parang for steadiness, parang meron ka pinipili, you must not make decision in a thoughtful and deliberate manner. For compliance, control emotional expression, display a preference for orderliness, tend to express measured opinions, and cease to difficult to get to know. Okay. So that's it for customer relationship management. So it's more of yung character building lang for customer relationship management, and yung parang how will you deliver yourself to your customer. Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, if none, then we'll proceed with ito, short lang to for the components of supply chain management. Okay. So, natapos na tayo dun sa customer relationship and customer service management. Then we'll proceed with the parts of the supply chain management or yung components of supply chain management. So, pa rin, supply chain management is a process used by companies to ensure that their supply chain is efficient and cost-effective. A supply chain is the collection of steps that a company takes to transform raw materials into a final product. So, paano ba natin in-implement ang supply chain? So, we needed the 5 components of supply chain. First one is yung plan, source, make, deliver, and return. So these are the 5 components of supply chain. So yes, for the plan, the initial stage of the supply chain process is the planning stage. We need to develop a plan or strategy in order to address how the products and services will satisfy the demands and necessities of the customer. In this stage, the planning should mainly focus on designing a strategy that yields maximum profit. Sa ngayon, parang hindi na siya more of applicable ang planning the supply chain. Parang nangyayari kasi ngayon is more of benchmarking. Sobrang dami na kasi ng parang develop not just software, but develop supply chain management. And kapag ganon, they want to just benchmark it from another company that serves yung the same mission as your company. So kaya yung planning is more of minimal na lang. They just need to benchmark the effective supply chain management from other companies. Then we have, ayun, for plan pa rin, for managing all the resources required for designing products and providing services, a strategy has to be designed by the company. Supply chain management mainly focus on planning and developing a set of metrics. For the second one, the source develop. After planning, the company's step involves developing or sourcing. In this stage, we mainly concentrate on building a strong relationship with suppliers of the raw materials required for production. This involves not only identifying dependable suppliers, but also determining different planning methods for shipping, delivery, and payment of the product. For source and develop naman, we need to know yung ating mga networks, yung mga suppliers, yung ating buyers, then the logistics involved, ano ba yung transportation na gagamitin. So yun, so kailangan malaman na natin yon, and then yung movement. Companies need to select suppliers to deliver items and services they required to develop their products. So in this stage, the supply chain managers need to construct a set of pricing, delivery, and payment processes with suppliers, and also create the metrics for controlling and improving the relationship. Finally, the supply chain managers can combine all these processes for handling their goods and services inventory. This handling comprises receiving and examining shipments, transferring them to a manufacturing facilities, and authorizing supplier payments. For make, ito naman is more of implementation. The third step of the supply chain management process is manufacturing or making products that were demanded by the customer. In this stage, the products are designed, produced, tested, packaged, and synchronized for delivery. So ito is more of implementation, how you are going to develop, make, produce your product. The task of the supply chain manager is to schedule all the activities required for manufacturing, testing, packaging, and preparation for delivery. This stage is considered as the most metric-intensive unit of the supply chain, where firms can gauge the quality level, production output, and workers' productivity. So ito is parang, sabi niya dito, metric-intensive na, kasi kailangan na dito ng mga measurement natin, kailan ba yung delivery time, production time, yung kailan makukuha yung ating product, how many, mga ganon, ano yung demand, ano yung projection. So yun, so kaya sobrang dami niyang yung KPIs. Then we have to deliver. The fourth stage is the delivery stage. Here the product are delivered to the customer at the destination location by the supplier. So this stage is basically the logistics step, where customer orders are accepted and delivery of goods is planned. The delivery stage is often referred as logistics, where firms collaborate for the receipt of orders from customers, establish a network of warehouses, pick carriers to deliver products to customer, and set up an invoicing system to receive payments. Then lastly, we have the return. So the last and final stage of the supply chain management is referred as the return. In this stage, defective or damaged goods are returned to the supplier by the customer. Here, the companies need to deal with customer queries and respond to their complaint, etc. Kung i-relate nyo to dun sa ating project management, ito is more of yung control. So, if wala to, walang magandang, kumbaga parang sa, ano ba yung pinag-aaralan sa customer relationship, customer service. So, kung wala yung return, hindi tayo makakuha ng feedback from our customers. So, kaya kailangan we must also deal with yung mga defectives and damaged goods. And then this stage often tend to be a problematic section of the supply chain for many companies. The planner of the supply chain need to discover a responsive and flexible network for accepting damage, defective, and extra product back from their customer and facilitating the return process for customer who have issues with delivered products. So, syempre, kailangan mong i-address yung mga problema dahil nga ito ay yung mga defectives. Yes. Yung mga defectives. So, ayun. So, hindi natin malalaman kung ano yung magiging problema, and then kung wala din tong return, then yung sabi nga ni Briggs, wala din siyang improvement. Okay? Okay, then that's it for management of components of supply chain management. So, yun, I will just stop share. And then, that's it for our supply chain management. So, I tend to discuss only 2 topics kasi ilan topics na lang din ito. Siguro mga 5 topics na lang for supply chain management. Anyway, so do you have any questions for supply chain management, for customer service and management, components of supply chain management? Okay? Meron ba tayong tanong? And kung wala, then we'll proceed with our punta na kagad tayo dito sa ating capstone para makapag-umpisa na tayo. Tanong. Yes, sino pa? Yes, ilalagay natin ito sa Classroom, Google Classroom. Okay, so we proceed with the capstone project for isa subject natin for capstone. Okay, so ang di-discuss ko dito is yung format natin for our capstone project. So the format is separated into 5 parts. So we have the introduction. So first is you discuss what is your capstone all about. So you must need to have your significance or rationale, just like what you did in the project management. So the significance of the study is a written statement that explains why your research was needed. It's a justification of the importance of your work and the impact it has on your research field, its contribution to new knowledge, and how others will benefit from it. So once you have stated your significance, then you must state your problem statement. So the problem statement is a concise description of an issue to be addressed or a condition to be improved. It identifies the gap between the current state and the desired state of the process or product. So sa problem statement, kung bawa kayo ay nagbigay ng isang scenario, you must find a gap on it, and then ano yung nakita niyong problema from that current event. Then from that, you will also create your purpose of the study. The purpose of the study illustrates why the study will do, and which should reflect the statement of the problem. So yung purpose of the study, since na-identify mo na yung gap, ano yung magiging intervention mo? What is your purpose of doing that study? And how will it affect yung current state natin? So after you done with the introduction, then you must do the review of related literature. So state 5 related literatures, that is detailed review of existing literature related to the topic. The RRL will justify more of the topic you have chosen. And it also parang will identify that the gap that you tend to solve is not yet been researched by other researcher. Wala naman kasi kung i-consider natin sa kumbaga kung i-consider natin sa tunay na kumbaga sa format ng capstone, it should be only 10 years yung RRL natin. But siguro wala naman siyang limit as long as it will not been answered yung problem na napili mo. So, ayun. So, wala naman tayong year kung kailan siya na-publish yung iyong RRL. Dali ah. Next. Okay. Then, in chapter, yung part 3 natin, you have your project description. So first is you identify your participant, gaano kadami, ano bang description ng participants, who are your target, how did you get your sample, ano yung demographic ng ating participants, bakit yun yung na-target nyong participant. And then for the procedural description, ito is yung how will you do your project. So parang methodology to, paano mo ba i-implement yung project. So a detailed description of your procedures. And lastly, yung analysis. Kahit sabi ni Gio, both local and foreign po ba ang hahanapin natin for RL? Kahit local yan or foreign, walang problema. Kahit pure foreign yan, kahit pure local. Okay. So yung analysis, ano yung gagamitin yung method to solve the problem? Kung kayo ba ay gagamit ng mga statistical analysis, how will you deal with your data, ano ang yung mga method, gagamit ba kayo ng experimental design, and such. So basta parang kung meron na kayong participants, meron na kayong implementation, yung methodology nyo, nakakuha na kayo ng data, ano ang gagamitin yung methods of interpreting yung data na nag-gather nyo. So sabi ko nga kanina, yan ba, last week, na dapat or ilimit na lang natin na yung inyong mga pipiliin na topics ay pasok lang dun sa mga parang mga survey para hindi tayo magkaroon ng problema kasi parang limited pa rin tayo sa ating paggalaw. So kung hindi pa ganun kahirap mag-gather ng data, then as much as possible, gawin nyo lang pa rin siya na into a survey form. Okay? Then, after you done with yung sa analysis, then you will give your results and interpretation. So, ano ba yung mga nakuha yung data, lalagay nyo yun, and the interpretation. Statement of principal findings and analysis of those findings. So lalagyan nyo yung mga data nyo. Kung bago gumamit kayo ng statistical analysis, ano yung description, ano yung interpretation nyo doon sa data na or sa results na nakuha nyo. And then finally, yung conclusion that is divided into 3, the discussion of results, the conclusion, and the recommendation. So yung in-interpret nyo na data, i-laymanize nyo na ano ang magiging result niya na most of the reader can interpret or can understand the results. So that is for the discussion of the results. Then after nun, magbibigay na kayo ng conclusion, and after nun, the recommendation. After that, magbigay kayo ng references for those that you've done na citation in the introduction, rationale, significance, and dun sa RRL. And then the appendices, yung raw data, if ever kailangan ipakita nyo yung inyong raw data. Okay? Ano mga research area na kailangan nating or pwede nyong i-touch? Pwede kayo sa production and operation management, ergonomics, pwede kayo sa mga integrated system, improvement, and then sa quality engineering, yun. And siguro sa education part ng industrial engineering, pwede din kayo yun. Kung you can solve an improvement in the topics for the industrial engineering na meron kayo ipopropose na dapat should be included in the syllabus of the industrial engineering, pwede din yun. So, gawan nyo na lang siya ng parang survey. Yun. Okay. Question for capstone? May question ba tayo? Okay, sa analysis, balik
Sir,
tayo.
question po.
Yes.
Regarding po dun sa kailangan po ba namin makipag-partner sa mga company po para dun sa mga specific topic po na kukunin po namin?
Pwede naman, depende sa topic na iaano nyo. Kasi kung halimbawa kayo ay magta-target ng company, kailangan nyo ng kanilang parang yung ano ba tawag doon, yung i-acknowledge nila na magkakonduct kayo ng study doon. Kasi otherwise parang kung pupunta lang kayo doon just to get the study. So kailangan parang i-acknowledge lang nila na magko-conduct kayo ng study. Lalo na kung ang participant nyo is yung mga employee nila.
Noted po, sir. Thank you po.
Yung dito sa project description, ulitin ko lang ha. So yung participants, ano yung inyong yung demographic ng inyong participants? Gaano kadami? Bakit sila yung tinarget mo? Ano yung sector na yon ng participants? Bakit sila yung needed for your study? Paano mo sila kinuha? Paano ka nag-select? Paano ka kumuha ng sample? So i-describe mo lahat yung description for the participant. For the procedural description, ito is yung paano mo i-implement yung inyong study, yung procedural description mo, paano mo siya gagawin. And the analysis is paano mo i-interpret yung iyong nakuwang data. So yung analysis, kung balimbawa, ikaw ay nag-survey, nakakuha ka ng data, kung gumamit ka ng Likert scale, halimbawa lang, meron ka ng raw data. Ano ang gagamitin mong analysis for that para ma-interpret mo yung nakuha mong data? So halimbawa, pwede kang statistical analysis, pwede kang mag-ANOVA, o ano man yan, kung you're looking for the future results or ano yung magiging impact kapag ito yung aking naging data, ano yung magiging impact niya, pwede ka mag-regression. So, depende. O kaya pwede ka mag-experimental design if you're looking for the low and high of the factors, pwede mong interpret yon. Ano yung magiging interpretation mo? Paano mo i-interpret yung data? So, kung gagamit ka ba ng statistical analysis, i-define mo kung bakit yun yung ginamit mong statistical analysis, bakit yun yung i-apply mo for that particular data. Okay? Breaks nakuha mo ba yon? Okay, so siguro mag-set na lang tayo muna ng date for the presentation of the topics for your capstone. Kailan ba yung preferred nyong date? Then, by the way, nakapag-groupings na ba kayo? Kung sino yung magkakasama?
Yes po, sir. Nakapag-groupings na po.
Okay, thank you, Camille. So, Sabado naman pala tayo. Okay lang ba May 14 tayo mag-present ng topic? Okay ba sa inyo May 14? So ang ipe-present nyo lang sa May 14 is introduction lang. Then yung inyong magiging topic. So parang papa-approve nyo lang kung ano yung magiging topic nyo for that, for your capstone project. Okay ba yung May 14 sa inyo na date? O gusto nyo mas later pa doon? Gusto nyo May 21 instead?
Ay, yes po, sir. Sana. Kung okay lang
May
po.
21 na lang.
Opo, sir.
Sige, okay. So May
Sir,
21.
ay, sir, tanong ko na rin po kung ilan pong topics po yung i-present po.
Siguro sige, kahit dalawa na lang na topic. So mamimili na lang tayo doon kung ano yung pwede nyo gamitin for the capstone.
Okay po. Thank you po.
Okay, so meron pa ba tayong ibang question?
Sir, ano po, Rivera po. Tawag ko dito. Yung sa capstone po ba, product wise po ba? Or pwede pong service?
Yes, pwede kahit service. Basta parang, siguro bilin ko lang kung kayo magpa-product. So, kailangan meron kayong tangible doon. Tapos, paano nyo ba ipo-prove yung worthiness ng product? Pwede naman yon. So, yung effectivity ng product. Teka, wait lang. Depende sa inyo kung ano yung gusto nyo. Wala . Okay. Iyon. So, question pa.
Sir, lilinawin ko lang po dun sa part po ng experimental design. Sir, iisa lang
Talaga.
po ba sila ng experimental study po?
Ano ulit? Bricks?
Yung sa experimental po, sir, iisa lang po ba yung experimental design at yung magiging experimental study po namin?
Kung papasok kayo sa experimental design, wala na kayong yun na yung experimental study nyo kung magiging ang format nyo is more of hindi siya descriptive study, magiging experimental siya. So hahanapan nyo lang siya ng factor. Actually, mas madali yun. Mas madali yung part na yun kasi hahanapan nyo lang siya ng factor tapos iraran nyo lang siya. Kung yan ay product kung yung napili yung topic is product, pwede siyang pumasok under experimental study. So hanapan nyo lang siya ng factor. Halimbawa, factor ba yung temperature, factor ba yung ano, then iraran nyo lang siya, ano yun yung magiging result. So hindi na kayo, kung yan ay experimental study, hindi na kayo magpo-prove ng, halimbawa, hindi na kayo aabot sa survey na ipapa-test nyo. Pwede na kagad yung experimental study nila. Especially kung ang napili yung topic is development ng isang product. Kahit wala na yung survey na part. So, mag-conduct lang kayo ng experimental study. Let's say, factorial ba yung gagamitin nyo? Ayun. Depende sa inyo. Kung service yan, kung service ang napili nyo, then needed talaga yung participants. Magkakaroon ka ng participants. Yung pala mangyayari, kung experimental pala yung study nyo, teka, balik ko lang. Kung experimental ang inyong napiling topic or product development, pwedeng mawala na tong participant. So yung procedure na lang tsaka analysis. Kasi hindi ko na kayo re-required na mag-product testing pa. Basta yung sa development na lang, ma-prove nyo lang na working sa product. Okay, meron din naman mga software na presently available sa market na ginagamit for experimental design. So basta hanapan nyo lang siya ng factor. So halimbawa, sino ba yung mga nag-product development last time? Halimbawa yung, di ba meron nag-paper bag sa inyo? Hindi, sorry. May nag-biodegradable straw. Halimbawa yon. Yung biodegradable straw, hindi ko alam kung kanino siya. Basta yun yung topic niya. So, pwedeng pumasok yon under development of product, developmental ng product, isang product. So, ano yung magiging factors niya? So, halimbawa, ang factors niya is absorption, water absorption, tapos halimbawa yung kanyang water absorption. Basta, halimbawa, may dalawa kang factor. Pipiliin mo lang yung magiging result kapag ito ay nilagay ko sa ganito. Or, sige, temperature. Halimbawa, kung may effect on temperature, especially sa mga hot or cold drinks. Naglagay siya halimbawa ng at siguro mga 10 degrees Celsius sa under cold. Tapos halimbawa ang nasoak siya under gantong time, ano yung magiging epekto doon sa straw. So, pwede yun. Ano yung magiging result. Then, pwede na niyang i-input yun lahat, then iraran na yun ng software, makakuha na kayo ng results if ano ba yung effectivity ng product. So, kung ganun yung inyong study, then mawawala na tong participants. Okay? Malinaw ba yun? Malinaw ba yung aking explanation?
So, pwede po kami mag-experimental po.
Pwede naman. Meron pa bang tanong? Okay, sige. Kung wala na, then i-adjourn na natin ang ating subject. Kung meron pa kayong tanong, then paki-rely na lang kay Camille. Ha? Thank you. Ano to? See you on... Wala tayong klase next week, ha? Sa May 6 sa supply chain management. Resume tayo ng... Ay, sorry, May 5 pala. Resume tayo ng May 12. Okay, thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
Bye-bye.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Yung... Ay, may birthday? Sige,
Si
thank
Mike po,
you.
sir.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you,
Napakahanda
sir.
yan.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Sige. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yung mga presentation, i-upload ko na lang sa classroom. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Thank you po, sir.